Meanwhile, the Freedom of Information Bill is pending in both houses of Congress. Its approval in the 15th Congress will ensure more accountability in support of President Aquino's crusade of good government. Our people will have greater opportunity to be more active in reviewing the performance of all government officials, elected and appointed. But will the said legislation pass in the 15th Congress? Joining us tonight is Deputy Speaker Erin Tañada, author of the Freedom of Information Bill in the House. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Robert.
Sir, the approval of the Freedom of Information Bill in this Congress will be a big boost for President crusade for good government. How will it guarantee more transparency and more accountability?
Well, actually, Robert, as stated in the 1987 Constitution, it is stated in Article 3, Section 7, that the right to information shall be afforded to citizens. So it is important that this bill is enacted into law and that the proper procedures are in place so that a citizen may be able to ask for information with regard to budget, with regard to contracts, with regard to procurement of services, with regard to light purchases, with regard to programs. So this will ensure transparency and eventually also ensure good governance here in our country.
Sir, you came up with a bill consolidated from 12 bills proposed by a number of your colleagues, including some suggestions from Malacanang. Is it the ideal bill acceptable to all? And what were the proposals of Malacanang?
Well, of course, everything that the working group worked on in consolidating the bill would still be subject to the approval of the Mother Committee. The Malacanang, through its study group, recommended three important provisions. Two of them are in the exceptions. One, the inclusion of the phrase national security in one of the exceptions. Two, with regard to free flow discussions of meetings. The study group was concerned that the candid exchange of ideas may be stifled if it was not included in the exception. So we felt that it was a fair request, so it was included as part of the exception. And one of the important recommendations of Malacanang is the immediate posting on the website of the statements of assets and liabilities and net worth of high officials of government.
Sir, Congressman Rodolfo Antonino opposed the bill which you were submitting to the Committee on Public Information for its approval. Intention was his bill which contained a provision on the right to reply was not inserted, and because of this the bill was not approved. How do you intend to overcome this hurdle?
Well, first of all, it's not a reason to say that his provision on right of reply was not considered. First, Robert, he filed this bill in July of 2011. By then, the work of the technical working group had almost completed its task in consolidating the different versions of the bill with the concerns of the study group from Malacanang. Now, what was lacking here is that the chairman of the Committee on Public Information, Congressman Ben Everdone, did not call for any committee hearing in 2011. And so when Congressman Antonino filed his bill was not referred to the technical working group. As a matter of fact, the bill of Congressman Antonino was not even sponsored at the committee because the committee failed to call for a committee hearing. And his bill was only sponsored by Congressman Antonino in March 2012. So it is not true that I purposely disregarded the right of reply provision in his bill.
So is this right to reply bill an important part of this? As some sectors say, in the industry of journalism, it's already part of the journalistic ethics that there's balanced reporting and both sides have to be taken.
That is true. As a matter of fact, there is opinion from the legal counsels of the House of Representatives that adding the provision on the right to reply on the freedom of information is unconstitutional because you can only have one subject matter in one bill. Adding the right to reply we will have two subject matters. So there's a question on constitutionality. I personally feel that it would be a violation of the freedom of the press and editorial privilege of the owners of media outlets.
So there are other concerns, like if the FOI bill will be implemented, it may be abused by some quarters to make unnecessary exposés which could destroy the reputation of people without any basis. What safeguards or safety nets are in the bill to prevent tyranny?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that the bill is what I call a neutral right. It just provides information. If the information comes from a public office, then we would presume that the information is correct. So if the information is correct and the story is just to relay what the accessed information says, then we believe that there can be no misuse of information. However, there may be a pending amendment to the Freedom of Information Bill once it's tackled at the committee level that penalizes the misuse of information. So this may assuage the fears of certain sectors that there might be an abuse.
Sir, do you think we are ready for a Freedom of Information Bill, especially for those in media?
I think we're ready. As everyone says, if we have nothing to hide, we have nothing to fear. So media is just there to relay the news. And if the information accessed is truthful based on just the data that is provided for by an agency or a department, I think the people would welcome this information.
Sir, and a final word from you. Are there any other obstacles, or are you hopeful that the bill will pass in time?
Well, I understand the frustrations of my friends who are the advocates of the freedom of information when they said that I still believe that there's still life in the bill. We still have a hearing at the end of the month, and if in this hearing we are able to pass the bill through the committee, then we will still have enough time, maybe around 12 session days in plenary, to deliberate this bill and pass on third reading.
Is that enough time, sir?
I still believe that it's enough time. The key here, Robert, is that both the Senate and House should pass it on third reading by December 20. If only one House succeeds, then there might be a problem in enacting this bill into law.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was Deputy Speaker Erin Tañada. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Robert.